Hey guys, it's Big Tuna, and today we are going to talk about the massive haul of changes to shamans of all kinds across Azeroth. For the beta, we will focus on Restoration Shaman because I'm a healer, but I'm actually a healer who helps new healers. So if that interests you, you better go ahead and chuck a subscribe my way with those notifications on. But you know what? I'm keeping you guys held up here for long enough. We got to talk about these changes. Let's go, man. Let's go. So we were already told that they were going to do some pretty big changes to Shaman, and well, now it's here. So we're going to kind of read some of the little developer notes they wanted to point out. Sky Fury, not Sky Fury Totem, Sky Fury. Basically what they're doing is they're adding a raid-wide buff for Shamans, which that's pretty cool. I mean, that's the only reason why I ever played Paladin back in the day, was because they could buff people. It was pretty dope. So now we are getting a raid-wide buff. They're removing the Wind Fury Totem from Enhancement Shaman and basically just giving every Shaman a buff. We'll talk about that later. The class tree, basically they're talking about, you know, they're moving some stuff around, they're adding some stuff, making talents more accessible. A lot of class tree stuff, by the way. And then for Restoration, what they're basically talking about here is they feel like a lot of the shaman spells are just not as impactful as they need to be, or as they should be. Much more impactfulness in previous expansions, but right now they're kind of lacking in that department. So they have decided to amp up the effectiveness on a lot of our spells, cooldowns and rotational spells, all that good stuff. So we will talk about the class tree right now, starting off with, well, what we just talked about, the Sky Fury. What is this? Harness the Fury of the Windlord to grant a target ally 2% mastery and empowers their auto attacks to have a 20% chance to instantly strike again. So it's basically combining Wind Fury with Sky Fury Totem's little brother. Alright, so I don't know how impactful this is going to be. 2% mastery, 20% chance to instantly strike again for auto attack. I don't know how super impactful this is going to be. I mean, baseline stat of mastery, that's pretty cool. The auto attacks, I mean, the only classes that really benefit off of auto attacks, well, I guess, you know, kind of find some use in this. You know, Frost DKs, get another auto attack that crits, you know, more killing machine procs, but who plays Frost DK? Warriors can get more rage. Other than that, I don't really know any classes that really benefit off of auto attacks or have any auto attack designed spells. So, you know, we'll kind of save this for later. Elemental Resistance, a new talent. Healing from your Healing Stream Totem reduces fire, frost, and nature damage received by 6% for 3 seconds. Healing from Cloudburst Totem basically gives the same effect, but 3% for 3 seconds. That's pretty interesting. So fire, frost, and nature damage just pretty much for 3 seconds. This is whenever they are getting healed, I believe. So as long as Healing Stream Totem is down, your team or whoever is getting healed is going to be taking just passive reduced magic damage from nature, fire, and frost. Pretty good against those pesky fire mages and frost mages and those boomkins and Ellie shamans. Pretty dope. New talent, Refreshing Waters. Healing Surge is 25% more effective on yourself. You're moving this from our Resto Shaman tree, and I believe Elemental Shamans have this as well, and Enhance, into the normal class tree. Pretty cool. Traveling Storms is an honor talent that we have. We can kind of check in the game right here. It is, oops, not that button. It is an honor talent that we have. It is right here. Not something that's super great. It's only really useful in like Eye of the Storm and maybe Lumber Mill fights. Other than that, this doesn't really have that much use to it, but basically what it does is it can be cast within 40 yards on an ally, and the movement speed from your Thunderstorm is increased by 60% and knocks them further. So that is going to be moved to our general class tree and not our honor talents. Pretty damn dope. Same thing with Seasoned Wind. Interrupting a spell with Wind Shear decreases your damage taken from that spell skill by 15% for 18 seconds. Stacks up 2 times. Now, these spells as a whole weren't that good, which is why we didn't take them. We didn't take them because, you know, we just couldn't take them because there's already so many other good options. No, they just weren't that good. But now that they are in our normal class tree, maybe we might be able to play around with them. We'll see. New talent, Encasing Cold. Frost Shock snares its target by an additional 10%, and its duration is increased by 2 seconds. That's pretty cool. I don't normally play the Frost Shock on my Resto Shaman, but, you know, maybe you can find some cheese in pressing Frost Shock. I actually do press play Frost Shock against other Resto Shamans to kind of snipe their totems. Other than that, it's not something I'm really too keen on, but maybe this would be a little bit better. Arctic Storm. Enemies within 10 yards of a Frost Shock are snared by 30%. Spam slugging people. Again, could be interesting. Ascending Air. The cooldown of Windrush Totem is reduced by 30 seconds, and its movement speed effect lasts an additional 2 seconds. I'm glad they're doing stuff with Windrush Totem. I've made a video about this, probably in season 2 or something, I don't know, talking about how they should change Windrush Totem. And with these changes, I honestly still don't think it's going to be that great for PvP. It's still a very PvE oriented ability, but we shall see with these talents. Enhanced Imbues. The effect of your weapon imbues are increased by 20%. That's great. I feel like my Earth Living weapon for Resto Shaman is something that's not super impactful. It's okay. It's in an okay spot in my healing charts, but it's not something that I really am thinking about. That's really all it is. It's just healing you don't have to think about, but I feel like it could have some more impact. So if Enhanced Imbues gives me that extra oomph, that extra kick, I will definitely love that. Stone Bulwark Totem is being added back, boys. This was such a good talent. Summons an Earth Totem at the feet of the caster for 30 seconds, granting the caster a shield absorbing damage for 10 seconds and additional absorb every 5 seconds. 2-minute cooldown. This was, I think it was actually a 1-minute cooldown originally, but maybe I'm wrong actually. But yes, it is back, and hopefully it is good. Hopefully it's not something that we just breeze over. I hope this is good. It was such a good talent back then. Jetstream, new talent. Windrush Totem's movement speed bonus is increased by 10% and now removes snares. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for, the whole PvP thing. Now, what I really wanted to see with Windrush Totem is that if it was going to keep its duration and its, cooldown, I would like it so allies who are in Windrush Totem, and if they leave it for the 4 seconds and it still lingers on allies, I wish you couldn't be slowed beyond a certain percentage. But with this, I mean, clearing everyone's snares, pretty that's pretty some. That's some pretty nice. New talent, Primordial Bond. You have an elemental active, your damage taken is reduced by 5%. This is something I believe for elemental shamans. Now it's being moved to the general tree. Very nice. You only have one elemental, so for basically a whole minute, if you are running Earth Elemental, you don't normally run it, but if you are running it, you will have 5% damage reduction. Pretty cool. Voodoo Mastery has been redesigned. Your Hex target is slowed by 70%, and for 6 seconds after it ends, reduces the cooldown of Hex by 15 seconds. They are combining both the Voodoo Mastery and the other talent to one talent. Pretty dope. Alright, love that stuff. They are doing that a lot, actually, combining certain talents. Pretty cool. Flurry is gone. Again, had no use for Resto Shaman. The cooldown of Gust of Wind has been reduced to 20 seconds. Was 30 seconds. Great. Great. You know why that's happening? Because I believe that talent is being removed to go with the flow, which reduced the cooldown of Gust of Wind, is being removed. So Gust of Wind is now just baseline a 20-second cooldown. I actually do run Gust of Wind right now. It's pretty good. Hopefully it stays pretty good in the next expansion. Lightning Lasso and Thundershock are no longer a shared choice node. Thundershock knocks enemies up in the air, and your Lightning Lasso is on the same node as that. So now that they're both going to be gone, away from that node, you can kind of pick Lasso without... if we want to take Thundershock, yeah, but it's not something that's super impactful. But we'll see kind of where that talent tree lines up. Yeah, interesting. The following talents are now 1 point Totemic Focus, Elemental Warding, Nature's Guardian, Winds of Alakir, Nature's Fury, Totemic Surge, all good stuff. Especially Elemental Warding and Totemic Focus, all good stuff. Nature's Guardian as well. I don't know what percentage they're going to keep it at. If we're going to have 1%, I don't know if it's gonna receive the 2 talent point percentage for the 1. I'm not sure, but we shall see when they do update the trees on the talent calculator. Or it's probably in the beta already, but I don't have beta. So now we're going to talk about some hero talents. Restoration for Farseer. Undulation can now trigger Call of the Ancestors. Now big what is Call of the Ancestors? I also don't have beta. Well, I'm glad you asked that question. We can go to Farseer right now. Call of the Ancestors is basically the same thing as your Ancestral Awakening. Kind of. Unleash life to call an ancestor to your side for 6 seconds. Whenever you cast a healing or damaging spell, the ancestor will cast a similar spell. It's basically the same thing as your Light Narus as a holy priest. Now, this only works off of Unleash life, which is very troll because when I first read that, I was like, it's kind of weird how for a hero talent tree, you are kind of forced to play with the talent, and it's built around a talent node skill. Not really sure if that was a good idea. But now it does work off of Undulation, and I actually really do love Undulation, especially its interaction with Primordial Wave. So, you know what? Glad that is going to be a thing. Healing from Chain Heal from Totem Rebound is increased by 400%. Big Tuna, I still don't have beta. What are you talking about? Totemic Rebound. Chain Heal now jumps to a nearby totem within 20 yards once it reaches its max targets, causing the totem to cast Chain Heal on an injured ally within 30 yards. Jumps to nearby targets within 20 yards. Basically, if that sounds too complicated, your Chain Heal reaches its max targets. It will be stored into a nearby totem. It can be any totem. It could be Healing Stream. It could be Earth Grab. Hell, it could be a Cap Totem before it fades away. I don't know. And then once it reaches that little totem, it's going to heal 2 other targets, basically. Now, this is going to be 30% of that Chain Heal, but this is increasing it by 400%. So I don't know if it's going to be like one of those 400% numbers where those weak ones, or maybe it's going to be like a big, like 400%. 400%. Wow. So we'll see when the beta is up. And I mean, you guys can see because I don't have beta. You know, I'm not paying $80 for that stuff. All right. Going down to the Resto Shaman tree, we still got a lot to talk about, boys, so fasten your seatbelts, we're going fast. New talent, Tide Waters. When you cast Healing Rain, each ally with your Riptide on them is healed. Not something super cool. Anything with Riptide is all for PvE stuff. For PvP, you're not really dealing with that stuff. And maybe, again, with the hero talents, you know, maybe, but I don't really think any hero talents actually interact with Healing Rain, but maybe there's some changes that could happen, alright? This one is something that is interesting. So, the cooldown of your Ascendance is reduced by 60 seconds. Wow! Ascendance is a 3-minute cooldown. And usually 3-minute cooldowns kind of feel bad throughout the game because, well, you know, you only really get to use them once, maybe twice if, you know, games are lasting 3 minutes. But yeah, 2-minute cooldown on Ascendance, that's pretty cool. Alright, it's my big CD. It's a pretty big CD, so yeah, 2-minute cooldown. Loving that. Your haste is increased by 25% while Ascendance is active, and its duration is increased by 3 seconds. New talent, Preeminence. Wow, 25% extra haste. Now, most likely in PvP, that's going to be reduced to like maybe 12%. But yeah, 25% haste. That is nice. Haste isn't normally something that's too important for Resto Shaman, but it does have its uses. But you will get faster you'll get faster totem ticks, you know, for like your Healing Stream, Healing Tide. You might even get an extra Healing Tide tick in general. But yeah, and you can get faster Riptides. Basically, your heals are going to be healing faster, which means, you know, your Ascendance is going to be healing more frequently. So yeah, it is very interesting. Sounds like a good talent. Reactive Warding. When refreshing Earth Shield, your target is healed for each stack of Earth Shield they are missing. When refreshing Water Shield, you are afforded mana for each stack of Water Shield missing. Now, on paper, this sounds great. Now, remember, this is refreshing. This isn't reapplying, meaning if your Earth Shield is completely gone on the guy, I don't believe you're going to get the healing. Because if that was the case, it'd say reapplying, but no, it is refreshing. Now, I don't know how good this is going to be. I don't know how much each individual stack is going to heal for / refund for. But especially for your Earth Shield, I don't know how good this is going to be. If it's going to do a lot of healing, then, you know, you might have classes that might try and might focus on that. Might focus on, like, purging your Earth Shield when you have, like, 3 stacks left. I don't know. Maybe if they're that kind of try hard, min-maxing the game. Maybe, but other than that, it sounds like an interesting talent. Hope to see the kind of more interaction with it. White Water, because water is right when it's white. Your critical heals have 215% increased effectiveness instead of the usual 200%. This was something that was exclusive for Elemental Shaman. This was kind of always the bread and butter of the class, just having higher crit than anyone was nice. And now we get it for Resto Shaman. Alright, this is basically just our tier set, our 4 set, just baked into a new talent. Pretty dope. Now this is interesting. Spouting Spirits. Spirit Link reduces damage taken by an additional 5%, and it restores health to all nearby allies for 1 second after it's dropped. Spouting Spirits healing is decreased beyond 5 targets. Wow. So Spirit Link is bad. It's a bad button. And I always forget that it actually reduces damage taken by 10% because of how bad it is. So now it's going to be a 15% damage reduction, but it's also going to heal nearby allies. So I don't know how much healing that's going to be, but, you know, having that instant effectiveness of Spirit Link Totem, in terms of healing value, it's pretty nice because, I mean, there are times when, you know, I trinket Link and we all get stunned and we just die because we're all now at the same HP and we're all taking the same amount of damage because, well, Spirit Link. So, yeah, sometimes it can be sketchy, but hopefully with this, you know, this can kind of smooth out that bit of scariness with using your Link totem. Spirit Walker's Tidal Totem. After using Mana Tide Totem, the cast time of your next 3 healing surges is reduced by 100%, and their mana cost is reduced by 50%. This naturally affects Chain Heal, now as Healing Surge. You are getting instant cast, maybe instant cast. It says 100%, maybe it might be like one of those weird 100% where it's not actually 100%, it's like, you know, 99%, so it still would be a cast time. I don't know. But yeah, 100%, mana cost reduced by 50%. You're just getting 3 instant cast healing surges. That seems pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know, I don't know how good that's going to be, but I mean, 3 just instant cast healing surges for like, what, 4,500 mana? It sounds like a good bargain. I don't normally run healing Mana Tide Totem, but maybe I might start running that stuff, you know, and then the next expansion, who will know? Master of the Elements has been redesigned. This is actually a pretty interesting redesign. Casting Lava Burst increases the healing of your next healing surge by 30%, stacking up 2 times. Healing Surge now applies Flame Shock to a nearby enemy when empowered by Master of the Elements. Now, the original design is whenever you cast Lava Burst, your next damaging spell or your next healing spell will be increased by 20%. So it's not really that good, but it is still kind of cheeky. You run Lava Surge, you get a lot of Lava Bursts out, you'll kind of just get more damage through like your Flame Shock, Frost Shocks even. But more so for the healing aspect of it. But yeah, this is now is only going to affect your Healing Surge. And you're going to get some Flame Shock spreading as a Resto Shaman, which I've been asking for how long? It's being able to spread my Flame Shocks. Bro, I want to throw out meatballs, alright? I'm a shaman, I still love the meatball dream. So that's going to be very interesting to play with. Improved Earth Living Weapon has been redesigned. Earth Living Weapon receives 150% additional benefit from your mastery, and Healing Surge always triggers Earth Living Weapon. Earth Living Weapon is your weapon imbue. Again, I talked about it a bit earlier. It's not something that's super impactful, you know. Improved Earth Living Weapon increases the healing of Earth Living and will always trigger on targets below 35%. Naturally, whenever you do Riptide Healing Wave, Healing Surge, Chain Heal, whatever, you have a 20% chance to heal the target for a little bit of extra healing over 12 seconds. So this is now going to benefit heavily off of our mastery. And whenever you do Healing Surge someone, you're going to just immediately proc your Earth Living. That's pretty dope, and maybe this would just be extra healing. You know, a lot of extra healing. I don't know. Earth and Harmony has been redesigned. This one's pretty interesting. Earth Shield reduces damage taken by 5%, and its healing is increased by 150% as its target's health decreases. Maximum benefit is reached below 50% health. Now, Earth and Harmony, is that what it's called, works a little bit differently nowadays. Earth Shield reduces damage taken by 6%, and its healing is increased by 100%. The target is below 75%. So you're still going to keep the damage reduction, but the healing increase aspect of it is going to work as your target's health decays. So there's no actual, like, you know, that's what I'm looking for, kind of like cutoff, as in your normal Earth and Harmony, where if they're below 75% health, the target's going to be getting that increased healing. Basically, the lower the HP of your target, the more healing they're going to get. Alright, it's a pretty unique redesign. I love it. Where are we at now? So much stuff. Jesus. Downpour. Downpour has been redesigned. Casting Healing Rain activates Downpour, allowing you to cast Downpour within 6 seconds. Downpour, a massive burst of water at the target location. Heals up to 5 injured allies within 12 yards. Alright. Downpour is twice as effective for Totem Restoration Shaman. It's pretty cool. Again, Healing Rain, not something that's super cool. The way Downpour works is it does a little bit of healing at a target location, and the cooldown of it is increased by 5 seconds for every target healed. Now that's how it naturally works with this one. Basically, it seems like whenever you cast Healing Surge, you're basically just going to be able to cast a Downpour. I don't think there's going to be any internal DR to how many times you can cast it. I just think it's going to be, and whenever you do cast Healing Rain, you'll be able to cast Downpour. It's pretty cool, actually. It's kind of like the what is it, Crusading Strikes or Templar Strikes, whichever Crusader Strike talent for rep paladins where you use it and then you'll get like another spell, use that one, and you know. I don't know. Alright, moving on. I feel stupid. Living Stream has been redesigned. Now increases the healing stream totem's healing by 100%, decaying over its duration. Basically, the minute you get your healing stream totem down, you're already going to get its maximum benefit, and it's going to decay. So this is going to be, maybe it might be good against the those old totem killers, those old little rascals, right? Mans who keep on killing my cap totem, my healing dad totem, my link totem, my healing streams, whatever. Kill it all you want. The minute I drop it down, I'm going to get the biggest, fattest healing. So kill it all you want. I'll get it. I'll get the benefit either way. All right. So yeah, this does sound pretty good. Lava Surge is now a passive. Thank God. Yeah, it's a passive, just like in BFA and Shadowlands. It is a passive, so you don't have to talent into it. You're just gonna be throwing meatballs passively instead of having to talent into it. Love it. Current control now reduces the cooldown of Healing Tide Totem by 45 seconds, was 30 seconds. Now, I don't actually like, I mean, it's interesting. So I tried to run this in RBGs. It didn't feel bad having Healing Tide every 1.5 minutes, but the healing bonus is just such, you know, noticeable without that extra, you know, 30% extra healing and the healing increase that they get. It's so noticeable. So maybe having Healing Tide Totem on a what, a minute and 15 seconds is going to be more impactful. I don't know, but you shall see. Current control, pretty interesting. Mana Tide's totem radius is now 40 yards. Pretty dope. Alright, I think naturally it's 20 yards or 30 yards? 23 yards. And then Resonant Waters is what makes it go to 40 yards. Now naturally it's going to be just 40 yards because they changed, or no, I think they just removed that talent for the extra yardage out of the game. So yeah, pretty pog. Ancestral Awakening now triggers at 20% base chance and increases to 40% whenever you critically strike. This is awesome. So, or maybe it's not, I don't know, but it sounds awesome. Ancestral Awakening has been pruned, and it's just not been good ever since its original release. So, yeah, it's one of those talents that makes me sad. So, the initial way it works is whenever you critically heal with anything, Riptide, you know, Healing Surge, whatnot, Healing Wave, you'll summon a little ancestor to a nearby ally, could be yourself as well, and it will heal that target for 30% or 20% of what the healing you did. So it's really it's really low in your charts, but this is going to make it so it's going to be just a chance overall. So instead of just whenever you critically strike, basically now it's just whatever you do is going to be you're going to have a 20% chance to proc it and a 40% chance if you critically hit. Yeah, so you pretty much will get maybe a little bit more procs, but you know, we'll see how impactful this talent really is. Torrent now additionally increases the chance for Riptide's heal to critically strike by 8/15%. Torrent is the talent that makes it so your Riptide does 30% more healing. With this, it'll give it an increased chance to critically strike. Pretty cool. Water Totem Mastery now activates on a chance, but its effect has been increased to 3 seconds of reduction. Basically what this means is the way it originally works is whenever you consume tidal waves, you will reduce the cooldown of your totems, Healing Tide, Healing Stream, by 0.5 seconds. Now with this, it's just going to be a flat out just proc chance, no matter, you don't have to do anything. But yeah, you know, whenever you do get this proc, you'll shave 3 seconds off of your totems. Pretty cool. Water Shield now has 9 charges. Wow, I hate reapplying my Water Shield constantly whenever a warrior just taps me and it's all gone. 9 charges, pretty nut. Primordial Wave's cooldown has been reduced to 30 seconds, was 45 seconds. They did this because they removed the Primordial Wave talents, so could be interesting. Healing Rain now heals up to 5 targets, was 6 PvE stuff. Acid Rain, PvE stuff. Overflowing Shores, PvE stuff. Wave Speaker's Blessings now is a 2-point talent. I actually forgot what this talent is. Let me actually see. I actually forgot what this talent is. Wave Speaker's Blessings. Wow, that is, what is that? This one. Increased duration of Riptide. Not something we're really too keen about, but, you know, maybe that's what we're looking for. I don't know. So it's now a 2-point talent node. And the following talents are now 1 point, which is Tidebringer and Deluge. Deluge, Tidebringer, and improved Earth Living Weapon. Pretty nice, especially the Earth Living Weapon is pretty dope. Taps have been removed is improved Primordial Wave, Tumbling Waves, Continuous Waves, Resonant Waters, Flash Flood, Stormkeeper, and Refreshing Waters, alright? So, that is all the stuff we have got for our class tree and our Resto Shaman tree. A lot of stuff, to the point where my voice is kind of already gone already. That's why I don't do a lot of types of videos like these. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and let me know what you guys think about these Shaman changes. And of course, if you did like this video, make sure to chuck a like my way, and maybe, just maybe, if you're feeling super generous, click that subscribe button. Again, I'm a healer who helps new healers, so if you ever want to ask me questions about literally anything about healing, I will try to answer to the best of my abilities. But guys, I'm tired. It's time to edit this video, and I'll see you guys in a next life. Peace! You make me feel real when you tell me something.